Yeah, the problem is, I mean, I'm kind of also fond of trying to cut through it a little bit. I mean, the problem is, unfortunately, you pay your filing fee. You have a right to be a jerk. Yeah. And I'm sort of getting to the point now where if I'm in that type of situation, then I just say, then set it for trial. We can't. I'm also fond of saying this isn't rocket science. I mean, it really is not rocket science. The studies, oh my gosh, over 100 studies have just come out and been clear that children benefit best from equal access to both parents. So we can't.
North of 125 now.
Oh, right, no
whether
kidding.
it's either maximizing time with each parent, or relatively equal.
Right,
time.
right. So what we can no longer have, and we've got to, again, with the new demographic and sort of passing a retirement, hopefully, of sort of the old guard, we cannot have situations where you do endless settlement conferences for 2 years while, you drain the parents' funds for attorneys. And after 2 years, well, we can't agree. Let's set it for trial. No. I mean, this is why we need a temporary order within the first month when a case is filed. And if they're going to execute on their right to be a jerk and request a trial, well, then fine. Let's try it within a year. I mean, there should be no reason this takes longer than a year, especially when you've got young kids that need the stability put back in their life.
Yeah. California, they say 18 months, but I'm not aware of any cases that actually go to trial. I mean, I know I have a hearing next week, and the case is 6 years old, and the trial is going to get set a full year out.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's 7 years of now high school age kids. Going back and forth. So I think a lot of the studies now are coming back is when we get to that 50-50 point, it takes away the power dynamic.
Right.
There's no longer one parent in control. It's no longer.
Well, sure. And so I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah. And like I was saying before with, how I see this more of a a mental health issue, but in that regard, things like control, the emotion. I mean, this type of law is unlike sort of any other, perhaps maybe other than criminal law, where you're losing your freedom. Although losing a child, that to me is the equivalent of a civil death sentence. But it can't be in a place where it's taking this long to get to it, and having these laws do is they cut out that emotion. They cut out that desire to control. Mm-hmm. You're not going to blow $300,000 total, both sides, on attorney's fees, because that's both your kid's college education and then some. And it clearly comes down. And because I represent both moms and dads, I don't see it so much. Of course, men are statistically harmed more by the family court system, but moms are too. And so I don't see it so much as a gender issue as I see it as a mental health issue. And this 50-50 cuts that right out.
Well, I mean, the 50-50 does multiple things. I mean, all the studies show that actually moms there's actually the Women's Legal Center, I forget what the formal name of it is, Women's Legal Center. It's out of Georgetown University. Women who have between 75 and 50% custody of a child have better mental health scores than a woman who has 75 to 100%.
Well, and honestly, I was just reading today, where was it? On a few websites. 50-50 frees up, moms to head back out into the workforce. And, again, with that changing demographic, that's what we want.
The Women's Law Center, the same place had the study that shows that women are 54% more likely to earn six figures in a 50-50 arrangement.
I did read that. Yeah.
Than they are.
Absolutely.
Than they are not. And then you look at essentially what we've done is we put all the burden and we force dad to work. And I keep coming back to this situation I had this week in court that just didn't make any sense. Well, this dad looks at me and he's like, to be able to foot this child support bill now, I'm going to have to work during my parenting time on Saturday. Like it's going to be my fiance caring for not our child, but for my child and other relationship. It snowballs.
Right.
Like we put so much parenting responsibility on the woman that it hinders their ability to create a better future. And then we saddle the man with so many obligations that he can't be the present parent that he needs to be.
Well, and what I also do with, all my clients when I take in a new case is I discuss with them. I have my, new division of labor conversation with them. And, moms now has this extra time, 50% to go out and work, and have to work. And guess what, dads? You're going to have to figure out how to clean, cook, do laundry, and all those other parenting roles that are non-traditional. Now, again, the younger demographics already there, you know. So, but you decided to divorce or separate. So there are consequences to that. And it just means now you've got to wear both hats. You've got to be, the provider and also the home economist as well.
Yeah. And then I see multiple cases where the woman comes in and says, well, he's always been the provider and I've been the one at home. Well, you're not together anymore.
That's right.
We're 2021. We've kind of gotten past. I mean, there still is in California, at least, some of the situation where your role prior to the breakup plays into account. Yeah. My opinion is it shouldn't. You play roles in a relationship. If the relationship doesn't exist, those roles should go away.
That's right.
But you do definitely see that quite frequently.